Hey Melbourne, Dr. Ian here. Welcome to the Now. Today, what you don't know about these foods is that they just might prevent migraine headaches. To start off with, we have fish, salmon, mackerel, halibut and trout to name a few. Now what's so great about these fish is that they are high in what is known as an essential fatty acid. In fact, one particular essential fatty acid known as omega-3. Now omega-3 is really important because it helps our immune system reduce inflammation. And inflammation in the body can potentially be one of the trigger mechanisms of migraine. We don't quite know why, but studies have shown omega-3 can help. The next thing we need to consider in our diets to reduce the possibility of having a migraine and also having things that trigger the migraines is to have lots of nuts and different seeds, like flaxseed meal, possibly sesame seed. The reason is these are all very high in magnesium. Magnesium is a smooth muscle relaxant. And this is really good because what it means is that it potentially will stop the first stage of migraine headaches when the blood vessels to the brain constrict, ultimately causing the start of that migrainous headache. The next thing we want to be having in our diet are these dark green leafy vegetables. Now this can include things like spinach, rocket, kale, bok choy, broccoli. There are numerous dark green leafy vegetables out there for us to enjoy. The reason they're so good is because research has shown that vitamin B2 and B6, which is found in these guys, actually decreases the duration of migraines, the frequency of having migraines, and also the intensity. The next thing we need to have a look at are whole grain foods. Now, these are really good because one of the possible trigger mechanisms of migraine is when our blood sugar levels get low, what we call hypoglycemia. Now, the challenge with this is that when we have hypoglycemia, we are potentially going to be triggering dehydration in the body, the brain specifically, and this is believed to be the trigger mechanism. If we're having these whole grains, which are readily available, ultimately, what it does is it gives us a slow release of energy through the day, especially if we're having them for breakfast. Whole grain breads are also excellent. Cereals that actually are made up of whole grain product, please be careful not to use anything that is too processed or refined. Another trigger mechanism of migraine is also dehydration, when we don't have enough water in our bodies. Now, one of the ways to overcome this is by having a variety of different fruits. Now, you're going to find some fruit have a lot more water content than others. For example, your watermelons, your cantaloupes, your rock melons, etc. Now, these are great to eat because not only can we enjoy them, but we also get a lot of water out of them, and that helps rehydrate the body. There are other fruit, like these apples and avos, that also have magnesium in them. And as I mentioned a moment ago when we were discussing the nuts and seeds, magnesium is a smooth muscle relaxant, which helps stop those blood vessels constricting, which is the first stage of migraine, as we are all beginning to understand. And lastly, it's not a food, but it would be amiss of me not to mention water. Make sure you're getting enough. Cheers.